Hello there, and welcome to an episode of Maza Bitcoin. Just over there, just over those little hills there. Well, there's giant sand dunes. Sadza shot. And anyway, riding along the coast of Vietnam still. There's my rig. Let me see. I had to stop to pee. True story. Sometimes a person has to use the restroom. This road's not a very busy road, actually. It's a beautiful road. Big side area and a few cars. It's just a desert paved road, right? Everywhere I stop, I translate in my phone if I need to, and I promote Bitcoin, even if it's $20 US, even if it's the, even if it's the $10 US that they're gonna get from me for staying in one of their guest rooms, right? I'll explain to them in the translator. Maybe they should take that 10 or $20 US and put it into Bitcoin, and they can help the world. Look at that there. I don't know what those are. I see them all over Vietnam. I'm not sure what they are. I think some sort of aloe vera plant, perhaps. I'm not sure, but sure is a beautiful place, man. I don't know what they're gonna look like when you see them. Mother Bitcoin video, but thought I'd just film a bit. I've had a strong headwind most of the day today. 我今天一直有逆风，很麻烦. It's a little bit annoying, but the thing about bicycling, 你要骑自行车比较长的路，几个礼拜或是几个月，或是过一年怎么样之类. If you're gonna ride a bike for a long time, whenever it's hard, right, it always gets easier. And whenever it's really easy and fun, it's usually easy and fun. But sometimes you have days where you have the strong headwind, as I just mentioned, or so you're actually like having to pedal downhill. But however, whenever those things happen, always good things happen too. It's every time you think life totally sucks and you're out in the middle of nowhere and your chain broke and you think you're fucked, something happens, you figure out a way, you get to some weird motorcycle shop, and it may take a day, whatever, but it always works out and it always improves. It's kind of like life itself, right? Everything seems so bleak. There's always something that we can't see over the next mountaintop. Then suddenly you're floating downhill and life becomes beautiful again. I guess it's more extreme. It's more extreme in some cases. So when you're on a bike journey, anyone who's watching this, if you're having a miserable existence, we all have it sometimes. Sometimes our lives suck. There's no such thing as someone not having a shitty life sometimes. So I can only recommend the times that's happened to me, the times where I felt like my life has sucked. The thing that's consistent is being on a bike. It's a big wind. The ocean is just over those peaks there. you get on a bicycle, and if you don't, you know, if you want to save money or you want to, I always recommend Southeast Asia because there's so many small, interesting countries and delicious food and fantastic people that it's hard to recommend something else. And I have gone on some jaunts in some parts of Africa and some nice pieces of Europe, which is really beautiful. Those trips will cost you 8 times more, 10 times more, for the privilege of being in a domineering banking country, you know. But when you get to the countries that are what we refer to as third world, not really third world anymore. I mean, I'm using internet, not now. I have 3G. I'm just using my phone and recording this. When I get some Wi-Fi, I'll be able to post this. So of course, internet is basically everywhere. And at this point in the game in life, you know, back to what I was saying, if you're having a rough time, you know, about life, consider, I know it sounds crazy, consider taking a bike ride. Take your friend or someone you care about, and especially if things suck. Like, then when things suck on the bike, you'll have a reason for it to suck. You won't be in your bed at home where it's supposed to be comfortable and it sucks. Then it sucks worse. It's better is when you're outside, like today, the ni feng hao da, and there's a big fucking headwind, right? But there's a reason why it's tough, and then you push through it, and you make the progress of pushing through, and you make, there's something to be said about that in life, about improving one's life experience. It's something important, and it's a way out from, it's kind of like, I call it, I always say press eject, right? Remember those old cassette players, cassette tapes, and you hit the button once, it stops, you hit it again, the tape ejects. It actually flies out of the tape player. It used to. Those were the good old days. Everything was made with atoms. You can touch and feel things, and you played a tape. Maybe it was a cool band like The Replacements or something, and you were waiting for your favorite song, you know, and you played a cassette tape, and you're waiting for that great song, that one song that you really like, or two. Or it could be, same could be said for your favorite porno tape, right? A pian, as they say in Chinese. So you wait for that, you don't know where it is, but you wait for the best part, right? And in the meantime, the anticipation is what's fantastic, isn't it? I mean, the anticipation of happening on something when you don't know it's there. And that's what bicycling is. To me, it's a physical challenge, of course, but it's also, oh shit, almost crashed. It's just some sand, I'm fine. It's also an anticipation. A bike ride is an anticipation for waiting for beautiful parts, and beautiful downhills, and beautiful scenes, and beautiful towns that you never knew existed, and you stay in them. You can stay there. If you love that town, fucking live there for 4 days, you know? And otherwise, you could even sleep in a tent, you know? You could just be free, and that's what very few people get to realize in this life. Yeah. And so this challenge and this unknown, this sense of unknown, is what we seem to have been losing a little of course, or a lot of, in our Western